Hello, I'm Gary Frankenberry from TechStorms Productions, and this is the Learning Ruby Programming series. This is Tutorial 4, Hands-on Programming with Ruby. So let's take a look at the lesson outline. Puts and print are two Ruby commands to display output to the screen. A string literal is a string, a well-defined sequence of characters. String concatenation is a way of joining two or more strings together to form a single string. We'll discuss the differences between puts and print and string endings. We'll talk about a variable, namely it's a name for a place to store data. And we'll discuss differences between single-quoted and double-quoted strings with the puts and print commands. We'll look at non-interpolated versus interpolated string variables, and we'll look at interpolated escape sequences. So let's get started. The two Ruby commands that are commonly used to display output to the screen are puts and print. So today we'll be outputting text characters to the screen. This is related to the concept of a string literal. A string literal is a sequence of characters delimited by quotation marks, whether single quotes or double quotes. Note that the quotation marks are not part of the string. They only serve to delimit its boundaries. To illustrate, look at the simple program on the screen before you. Puts double quote, hello world, double quote. Puts single quote, goodbye for now, single quote. Hello world and goodbye for now are string literals. Please note that the line numbers to the left of the text commands are not part of the program. They're supplied by Genie, which is the text editor, for reference purposes. The puts command stands for put string, so the puts command should cause the string literals to be displayed on the screen. Let's run this program and see what happens. But before we can run the program, we must save it first and give it a name. I'll call mine hello world.rb. Ruby file name should end in a .rb for console type programs or .rbw for graphical user interface programs. And now we can go ahead and run this program by pressing the F5 key in the Genie text editor. And down here you can see our output, hello world, goodbye for now. They are on separate lines because the puts command inserts a new line character at the end of every string it prints if one does not already exist there. So it puts hello world, new line, so it's down at the beginning of the next line, and it puts goodbye for now. So let's come down here and clear the output screen. And we'll come back up here and we'll type puts, and I'll just put a space there just to separate things a little bit. And then I'll type print, and I think I'll come up here and copy the string hello world with the double quotes. And I'll come down here and type print, and I could copy it or type it in. Goodbye for now. All right, and we'll put another space below that just to separate things a little bit. And so we'll go ahead and run this, and let's see if there's a difference between the puts command and the print command and the default way that they work. So I'll press the F5 key, and here's the output of the puts command. And then here's the print hello world, print goodbye for now. Notice that these printed adjacent to each other. That's because the print command does not insert a new line at the end of every string it prints. Let me switch text editors here and try a different one. And I have another program here. I'm putting out to the screen 1, 2, 3, 4 string literals. They are separated with commas because the puts command and the print command require that they be separated that way. And I've got a blank line in between to see what this looks like. So I'm going to save this before I do anything else. And I'm going to type how now brown cow .rb. Press enter to save it. And now I can go ahead and run it. I'm in the Sublime text editor here, and I'm going to run this in this text editor by pressing the F6 key. And up comes our little pop-up terminal here. How now brown cow. Puts inserted a new line at the end of each of the strings it printed them on 4 separate lines. Whereas print did not, how now brown cow prints them all adjacent to each other. One more program. We might wonder whether we could stick a new line character in any place in a string literal and have it display a new line automatically. And we can with what's called an escape sequence. An escape sequence actually takes 2 symbols, the backslash saying this is an escape sequence, and the character indicating that this is a new line escape sequence. So in place of these 2 characters, the print statement will automatically move you down to the beginning of the next line. So let's go ahead and save this. And let's call it new lines.rb. And we'll go ahead and run this. And it displays this is with a space at the end. And then a new line character, so it moves you down to the next line. A string literal, new line, with different new lines. Now, this only works with string literals that are double quoted. You get interpolation of strings, which means examining the content of strings to see if there are any special characters in there that the print needs to follow. And that only works with double quoted strings. If I type single quotes here, and I go ahead and run this again, you can see my output looks like this. This is a \n, a string literal \n. It displays a \n rather than interpolating a new line character there.